I've just made this lovely spiral pendant. I like how it came out, and I decided to attach it to some cord. So I'm quite pleased how it came out. So I'm going to show you how to make it. So what you will need is some wire, jewellery making wire. I normally use 22 gauge, but this one, I think this is about 26 gauge, so it's a bit too thin, but I'm going to make it hard. So this is jewellery making wire. It's a kind of a pale gold, I'd say. And then what else you would need is the cord, if you're using, to attach the pendant to. You'll need 2 fold over cord ends. I've just got more than I need, just in case I drop one or something. You're going to need a lobster clasp, whatever clasp you want to use, and some jump rings. I've actually made my own jump rings. I'll show you that later on. Also, you'll need is a jewellery making hammer, the block. Also, you'll need flat nose pliers, round nose pliers, jewellery cutters, flush cutters. And if you're making your own jump rings, which are these, if you're going to make your own jump rings, then you'll need a looping plier. Or if you've already got jump rings, which are these little things that open, and just pick it up there. These are little jump rings that open. If you already got them, then you're not going to make none, so you won't need this looping plier. But or you can just make some anyway if you feel to. And as I need to harden my wire, I'm going to use my jewel pliers to straighten and harden the wire. So I've made this pendant, but the next pendant I make it doesn't necessarily have to be the same one. If you're making a few of the same pattern, then you can copy it again. But I might make the next pendant a bit longer, like more swirls, so it doesn't have to be exactly the same. So with my jewellery making wire, I'm just going to cut the piece. I'm just going to, because I'm going to kind of cut up any length just to see how it comes out. But this piece that I'm going to make, I'm going to cut about, let's see now. So you may need a ruler if you're going to measure. I'm going to cut about 14 centimetres just to see how it is. So that's where my finger is. So to cut it, you need your flush cutters. So you get your flush cutters and you hold it, or the flat end this way. And then you cut it and put away the wire. And because this wire is soft, I'm going to harden it. And how I harden it is holding one end. See, because I'm right-handed, so right, clamp one end like that, and I'm going to get me jaw pliers. I'm going to grip it. I'm going to do it, stroke it a few times, harden it a few times. I mean, you can use this method just to straighten your wire if your wire's got any kinks or you just want to straighten it out more. But you can use it to straighten the wire, and I find if I just do this, this is hardening the wire. I'm hardening the wire because the wire I'm using is too soft. But I quite like it, the wire, so I'm not throwing it away. So I'm happy that this wire is hard enough. So what I'm going to do next is pick up my round nose pliers, right? And I'm just going to make I think I'll put it up here. I think I'll put it in the middle, really. Yeah, so I'm kind of gripping it and then turning it because I want to make a full circle. So now that I've made a full circle, I'm going to do a spiral like that. So what I'll do is just kind of bend it with manipulate it. So I'll manipulate it by just turning it. It's going to get a bit bendy at first, so I'll just hold it and make little turns, holding it like that. So just going to bring it in. Oh, I was going to, yeah, hold it like this and make small little turns. I'm holding it, small turn, holding it, a small turn, holding it again, a small turn, because I want the gaps between, gaps like that. So I'm just holding it like that, and then I'm just bringing it a little bit, a little turn. Just keep making little turns until I've made enough. But obviously I need to leave about a centimetre at the top. So just turn, keep turning like that. So I'm just turning it simply until it looks how I want, and I'll manipulate it a little bit, bring it in a little bit. So I'm leaving at the top here about, let's have a measure of that. What's that? It's like 3 centimetres, I think, something like that. So what I do is this post, just kind of bend it like that. Yeah, so it's up like that. I'm just looking at my other one. And then turn it again like that. Try it a bit more. Then turn it a bit more. Right, so obviously up here is a bit too big, so I'm just going to cut off a little bit. And when I cut it off, I'll be a bit careful because it might fly. So I'm just going to hold it down and cut a little bit off. And then keep turning it like that. So I don't like how this looks. So what I'll do, I'm just going to kind of push it in a little bit more. So I'm going to pick up my round nose pliers. And I'm going to kind of bring it away. Then grip this and hold it up there so I can make a decent shaped loop. So it could look something like that. I think I need to cut a little bit more off up there. So I'll pick up my flush cutters and I'm going to cut a little bit more. Like that. Cut a little bit more off. And then gradually I'm going to manipulate it and bring a bit more in. A bit more like that. So it looks something like that. So I'm going to keep bringing it in until I like how it looks. I want up here to touch, right, like that. So I like that kind of shape. So the next thing I'm going to do, this wire, as I say, is quite a soft wire. But even if your wire is hard, you can still harden it if you want. So the next thing I do is bring my block. And I'm going to put it down on here. And I'm going to pick up my hammer. And I'm going to bang it. And when I bang it, it's going to make a little pattern. But I like that because normally if I don't want it to mark this wire, I would normally put this over it and feel where it is and bang it. Oh, wrong way, bang it. But because I like, it's going to bring a little pattern like this one here. You see little patterns going, little grooves going on here. I quite like them. So what I'm going to do is we'll just go nearer to it and bang it. And I'm going to bang the top because it's going to harden it anyway. And I'm just going to bang it because it's going to make all the little patterns. So while I'm banging it, it's making a pattern which I like. And it's also hardening the wire because that's what I want. I'm just going to bring this in a little bit more. Like that. And I'm going to bang it like that. So it's going to flatten the wire. Make it harder. And also put a little pattern. I think I'll turn around and do the other side. Do the other side. And bring this in a little bit. Bring that in a little bit. keep banging it until I'm pleased. So I like that. Just a nice little pattern. You can see it's a pattern. And this wire is actually like a pale, it's like a pale gold. But it's kind of looking silverish. It's more like it's like a gold really, but it looks kind of silvery. Yeah, I think it's called champagne gold. So I'm pleased with that. It's just got that kind of patterny abstract thing that I like. So the next thing I'll do, I'm gonna use cord. I haven't used cord for a long time. But if you ain't got no cord, just use some chain. If you are gonna use a chain, then you're not gonna need these fold over cord ends. But I'm going to use this cord, so you will need them. But if you're just using a piece of chain, then you're not going to need these fold overs. But you are going to need the clasp and the jump rings. So I'm going to just cut some. Just cut any old, well, let me just put it around my neck. Okay. I'll just cut any old length. Let me see what length have I cut it in. Let me just check. This is 26 centimeters actually. 26 centimeters. 26 centimeters just comes to the top of your chest. It's not long, it's just to the top of your chest. So next thing I'll do is cut it. So I'll get me flush cutters. This is me flush cutters. I more have the back there, and I'm just going to cut. It's easy to cut this cord. I think it's called corduroy. I don't think it's leather. It's like corduroy. Like that. So the next thing we're going to do is pick up your fold over cord ends, right? So once the fold over ends are already open, so you're going to just place the cord inside. Place inside like that. Okay, right, so you placed it inside, and then you're going to pick up your, maybe try with jewel pliers, and then you're going to softly bring it together, softly squeeze it together like that. So it's squeezed together like that. Squeeze it together like that, and then you're going to just press it down softly. Press it down like that, so that it's closed. And you're going to take it together and softly squeeze it together. So you should have it on both sides, like that. So the next thing to do is to put on the lobster clasp. Thing to do is put on the lobster clasp. So you're going to see that there's a little jump ring at the end. So we're going to open that. We're going to find the opening, and we're going to find the opening and open it. If you see that, there's a little gap there, if you can see it, and I'm going to open it across like that. There's a tiny little gap, so I'm going to just open it across. So it's open now. So I'll put one end inside the hole like that. Then I'll close it. Close it together using my round nose pliers and my flat nose pliers. So you've got it on one end, then go to the other side. Go to the other side to put the jump ring. Now I'm going to make my own jump rings using my looping plier. like that. So all I'm going to do is just cut a length of wire. I'll straighten a bit with my jaw pliers, straighten a bit like that, and straighten it and make it a bit stronger. I'm not making many jump rings, so it's nice and hard like that. So I'm just going to cut a length because I'm only making a couple of jump rings. So just going to cut a length. Just going to cut a length with my flat nose pliers, just like that. And then I'm going to pick up my looping pliers and I'm going to pick this size loop. So I'm just going to grip it like this down here and then start turning. It's going to be one loop on top of the other. Just start turning like that. Made about 4 loops. Just going to get onto the end like that. And then I'm going to pick up my flush cutters and cut it. Cut one each. 1 or 2 each. Let's see. So I've made about 3. I think I dropped one there. Made about 3 or 4. Only didn't need much. I think I'll get my hammer and flatten them a little bit, just a bit, just to give them a bit of strength. And then I'll pick one up. Then I'll pick up the pendant and the jump ring. I'm going to attach it on. So I'll open the jump ring across like that. I'm going to put that on there. Put it on the pendant and then put in the cord inside. And I'm just going to close it and bring it together like that. So there we have a nice pendant on a cord. Lovely. So thank you so much for taking time out to watch my channel. If you like my channel, please press the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. If you want to follow me on my social medias, I've put the links down below. And if you want to have a look at my shop, look at all the other things I like to make, then the link is down below. So, and can you please share my video to anybody else who wants to make some easy fashion jewellery? I'll be very, very appreciative, please. So, bye for now.